On the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. A lot happening, that's for sure. Things are changing. Certainly the war in Ukraine's kind of going in a weird direction too. We got a lot that is going on, and certainly going to be talking about some of this tomorrow as well. But yeah, much to talk about. We've I've got some fun stuff around the reflection pool. A kind of long interview. I think it's Pulte. But it's good, and it was with CNN, and it's like one of those, I don't know if you've seen the memes, like you don't hate the media enough, kinda. It's just gonna, once again, demonstrate why CNN sucks. Dana Perino, or whatever the hell her name, I think Perino's the one on Fox, whatever. It's the chick on CNN. We don't like her. Also, I think a beautiful reflecting pool picture as well. The world's changing. We're making it in our image and likeness, not their image and likeness. And I don't mean to trample on any sort of religious toes on that. I don't mean it like that quite, but in the sense of what we're creating as a civilization together. A better world versus a worse world. They don't like everything, right? So, again, a lot to talk about. Let's get the ball rolling. News, of course. And kind of just, I don't know, I sort of realized, I've said it many times, but I'm here to help as best I can with this change that's going on, with this information war, with trying to discern a lot of the crazy that's going on. I am not ever really trying to be a news channel. I try to do news and use news as something to discuss kind of what's going on and to help us sort of understand the bigger picture. But ultimately, I'm not trying to be the best news channel in the world. That's not my hope, and that's not really my focus. So I kind of hope you guys understand that. I love you guys being along, and the news is kind of the way that we share some of this stuff. So, again, crazy times. Great injustice reversed. Belgian soccer players are furious because they're about to play the United States, and we got our star player back, the guy that got the red card. They have brought him back. A lot of people are trying to say Trump had something to do with it. Trump is telling us adamantly, no, he did not have anything to do with it. But needless to say, here's Trump's words.
Win the game, they can be very proud. If they would win the game with a player missing, it would have been a different feeling. You can't do that. And I'm very glad. All I did was ask for a review. I didn't say, you have to do this. This man is a smart, tough man. Johnny Infantino. He's a smart, tough man. And his stock has gone through the roof because the job he's done has been great. And I feel we have to have all the best players on the field. You can't take the best players. Yeah, please.
On the Trump accounts, thank you. Liam Cosgrove with Zero Hedge.
Yeah, you can't zero hedge. You can't take the best players off the field. Belgium had someone go get pulled. I don't know if that call was questionable as well. Again, there's been a lot of interesting calls. Certainly the ref that did the red card on us has been accused of making really bad calls in other cases as well. So there's some of that to be said. President Trump's so happy that he's going to get to keep the bell, or get to ring the bell. I guess he rang in the stock exchange this morning, which is symbolic. I don't know if he's ever done it before. I believe he's done it before. I actually know a guy, a friend of mine, actually rang in the bell one time in his life. So, I mean, it's not like just random people, significant, if you will, people get to do it, but not like, this isn't like a head of state. He was, I think, he was in charge of a company that then got bought by another company and became number 2 at that company. But yeah, he was a pretty big wig, all the same. Needless to say, President Trump's kind of excited about this. I think it's pretty cool and symbolic. Read into it. I'm sure some people, some of the Anons are going to have fun with this, and I think there's something to be said. I don't think this is, it's kind of like the $100 bill with Trump's signature on it. It's not a Treasury note. It's a Federal Reserve note, and I've got a picture of it coming up. But so again, there's going to be people, I think, that are going to spin this in the direction they're going to spin it, whatever. And I think some people are probably going to run down a path a little bit with the stock market. I think it's symbolic, unquestionable. Am I reading a whole lot more into it? No, but it's starting a new era. I mean, this is literally the first day after the 250th 4th of July. So I think there's a lot to be said about it. All of that. Here is Trump.
Thank you, everybody. It's a great honor. We'll have a little fun, and we want to be exactly on time. Are we allowed to be 15, 20, 30 seconds late? Look at that clock. Typically, no good, Jeff, right? And I'm going to ring that bell. And does it stay in the White House? Because I'm not giving it back. We're going to put that in the middle of the new ballroom. I'm not going to give that bell back. It looks to me like it's going to stay.
It's staying here.
Well, we'll watch the clock.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's so great to see you. It's so great to see you.
Great show this weekend. Thank you. I was down here last. I was really enjoying it. Thank you. Sweet shit.
Yes, sir.
That was great to see you. Dina from NASDAQ.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll get over at the bell. Right?
Yep.
I want to stand next to these soon-to-be very rich people.
Good, so we'll get going, and good morning. I'm grateful to be with you on this historic occasion. The American dream belongs to every child, and today we are equipping the next generation with the right to claim their rightful share of it. Through Trump accounts, our president is creating an ownership economy where all citizens become shareholders. 38% of American families do not have any exposure to our great equity markets, but with Trump accounts over time, we can get that number to zero. Already, 6 million American children have signed up, 86% of them with families earning less than $200,000. U.S. Treasury, 1.4 million of those accounts will receive $1,000 from the U.S. Treasury to seed the accounts. When the markets open in just a few minutes,
Right now.
Trump accounts will benefit. So ring the bell, Mr. President.
I'm quite sure the markets open exactly the time they're supposed to open anyway. But yeah, Trump, it looked like he rang the bell maybe a hair late. But very cool stuff. And I saw that chick's picture. She freaks me out a lot. I don't know what it is. She looks just like somebody I know I dated, but with crazy dark eyebrows. Doesn't match. Donald Trump, truth this. It was the greatest hoax in political history. Rep. Anna Paulina Luna, this is what he was referring to. She put this out. I will be putting forward a resolution to avoid the fraudulent impeachment of President Trump during his first term in office. Russia collusion never happened. This has been proven by evidence released by Odie and I. Gabbard. It was a terrible lie that tore this country apart and was plotted by a weaponized intelligence agency under Obama. There is no monetary value that can be assigned to the damage this lie caused. It destroyed family relationships with one another, our country's camaraderie, and our relationship with another nuclear superpower, Russia, that could have resulted in war. Thank goodness the admin has started to restore the relationship, but history should reflect what actually happened. Pretty cool. Luna's most of the time right there where I think is good, right? Well, you guys know me. I have my moments. Trump put this out as well. It's Washington Examiner. With Trump's economic wins, Democrats have nothing to run on. Washington Examiner columnist Joe Conscious said President Trump's historic run in the economy and stock market is creating trouble for the Democrats. If everything could be straightened out with Iran, they get a true agreement. Strait of Hormuz opens, gas prices go down. Democrats have nothing to run on, Conch said in Fox Business. Conch praised economic wins under the Trump administration like job market, growth, and low unemployment rates, which were detailed in the May jobs report released on Friday. Trump spoke at the American Agricultural Roundtable in Wisconsin on Friday, where he said the job numbers smashed all expectations, and they are the strongest job numbers of the entire administration so far, and that's during the conflict on top of it. I feel like I'm having a hard time reading that. I don't know why. Trump actually said something nice about Rand Paul. I feel like Rand Paul's hopefully creeping back over to the mostly going to be cool side again. I would so very much like that, Rand Paul. I so want to like you. I want to. Anywho, doesn't matter what I think. Donald Trump says this is good, but Rand has to vote with us more than he does. But he did say something positive about Rand, and Rand Paul was happy to share that, which is interesting. I hope this isn't like Meloni from Italy, which we're going to get there. Oh, this is pretty funny. Trump is freaking totally trolling her. Trolling the shit out of Meloni from Italy. Love it. Anyway, here's Trump.
Rand Paul was here. Hi, Rand. Boy, oh boy, it's nice to have Rand. It's a good thing to have Rand if he knows what's important.
He knows what's important, except a lot of the time when he votes against what's important. Donald Trump put this out as well. Border Patrol Union shared this. On behalf of the men and women on the front lines protecting America's borders, we wish to thank the House GOP and the Senate GOP for passing the Secure America Act. Let's not misthink that of the Save America Act. Not the same thing. This is not voting. This has to do with funding these departments, the CBP and Homeland Security, for the next 3 years. That passed, got through the Senate, and I don't know if Trump signed it yet, but if not, it's happening. So this bill is going to allow ICE and Border Patrol to remain fully funded without the threat of a shutdown, impacting pay and operations through FY29, which means the Democrats cannot use this in the government shutdown they were hoping to do in October. Again, Trump knows what they're doing. He knows their playbook, and he's heading off all of it way in advance. He's either forcing them to have to deal with it now, or he's taking it from them as an option. They don't have the ability to use Iran to try to close down the strait. That's going to be resolved one way or another by the time the elections happen. And it will not be under the control of the deep state / Democrats. Donald Trump truth this as well. If no one goes to jail for election fraud, what incentive is there not to cheat? Extremely good point. Charles P. Herring, I guess, at Charles P. Herring, I guess is this dude's name. He did a 3-post. Hopefully I can easily find them because it's been a little while. They were close together. They should still be. We'll find out. California's FUBAR election integrity voter rolls, one of 3. In the recent election, 3 California family members, including me, received 6 ballots to their home. 2 additional ballots for former occupants that moved out of California 10 years ago, and 1 additional ballot for a relative that died over 5 years ago. I know firsthand as I was at the funeral. Twice as many ballots as justified. 3 legitimate voters could have voted twice, but didn't. The evidence is clear. At OAN, another, what is it, One American News Network or whatever they are. At OAN, they got that hot Asian chick, so, I mean, trust me, anyway. At OANN was censored by the U.S. government for accurately reporting on California's FUBAR election rolls per the government's December 2024, quote, final report, the weaponization of federal government, end quote. The report was flagged EIP-418. We have not seen a fact check on this direct story, but this story is targeting the discrediting the validity of California's vote by mail. Quote, the purpose was to, quote, to identify and analyze mis- and disinformation, end quote, which even DHS CISA publicly defines as false information. The approach demonstrates how the U.S. government was not focused on the truth, but rather the advancement of the viewpoint-based discrimination. Others include, of course, major 3-letter national broadcasters, also reported nearly identical to OAN, but was not censored. So, and I got one more post here by this guy. Here's 3. Oops, that's right. Wrong way. This one. And he also continues, Biden makes a special appeal to media outlets to deal with misinformation, stating it has to stop. OAN receives a call to a key distribution partner that it will not renew OAN's agreement. California Gavin Newsom doubled down on President Biden's lead, stating perhaps one of the great disinformation networks in America, One America News. So he even went out and slimed this news network. Now, again, they were early on, and this really did hurt them, I think, a lot. They've troubled through it like many of us have, but not good. Fed Reserve working paper suggests Biden illegal immigrants wave this whole millions and millions of people coming in caused about 30% of home prices increases. Now, we're going to do a whole section here on affordability coming up. Affordability problems, huge part of it. Most of the affordability issue was caused by an insane number of people coming into our country. It is happening to Europe. It's about to destroy Spain. We're just watching it happen. Now, we stopped it early. We destroyed the deep state's plan early, and we're already starting to recover from it. This is why we're going to be hundreds of miles ahead of everybody else on this planet, because we have removed the deep state for the most part, not completely by any stretch, but way more so than any other country. And we're already well on our way to resolving many of the problems. So we'll see, right? Truck driver accused of using fake documents to steal $2.9 million of cargo. I'm very curious what else tungsten oxide powder can be used for. It was being purchased by Mitsubishi Materials Corporation in Japan. They have come and supposedly claimed this material that was stolen by this illegal Indian driver. Again, one might wonder, why would you steal $2.9 million worth of tungsten oxide powder unless there's some other use for it? It's a very interesting thing, and this is going to be one I think I want to look into more too. I'm going to pull that over here for now so I can hang on to that for tomorrow's show. Assuming, by the way, there's a chance for jury duty any day, so I don't know what's going to happen on that. So if you guys see me disappear for any length of time, that might have to do with that. We'll see how this all plays out. Anywho, illegal alien truck driver kills Pennsylvania trooper. This was a nasty crash. He had a truck he was investigating, and it was on the side of the road. Some truck apparently crashed into it. It caused a fire between the two cabs. The state trooper was pinned. They eventually got him to the hospital. He died, or was pronounced dead anyways, at the hospital. Very sad how this all played out. So again, more illegal drivers that just shouldn't be on the road. Saudi Arabia selling oil at a discount for the first time since COVID crash as China demand is collapsing. This is a very, very, very weird thing that's happening right now in China. Huge amounts of speculation. I'm wondering if China's maybe figured out some form of efficiency, or if this really is a lack of people, lack of purchase. Like they've filled up all their reserves, and there's nothing else they can really do right now. So they had like a 1 trillion barrel reserve built, and then they filled it all up, and now it's like, all right, now what? And so their demand has dropped way down. Maybe this is their attempt at hurting the oil market, and that's possible. Because right now you've got Iran that one of its number one people to sell to was China. And number two was Russia. They're not really buying a whole lot of Iranian oil right now because of some of the problems, right? So Iran's got gobs of oil on the sea that nobody wants to buy, which is funny. Again, a war against the deep state. The deep state thought they were going to be able to go ahead and start getting money. And Trump's like, yeah, no, go ahead. Sail around. Go wherever you'd like. But nobody wants to buy their oil because he's made agreements with China. He's made agreements with Russia. They decided how they were going to attack the deep state and how this war was going to happen. And they decided that nobody was going to buy their oil. So China topped off its reserves. That's why Russia's been getting attacked so heavily by Ukraine in its oil area, because they're trying to hurt Russia's abilities to self-suffice. This is the deep state getting rocked. Huge part of who Iran is, the Khomeini, the people that took over Iran. Deep state. 100%. And they hide behind this radical religious zealotry. That's what they do. They do it in the Jewish community. They do it in the Muslim community. They do it in the Christian community. They do it in all the communities. There's no difference. But just generally, humans fear what they don't understand. This is one of the biggest problems. Some company, Sailor, they're selling 3,588 Bitcoin. People are making a big deal about it because they always said they'd never sell. I think anybody that says never should never say never, right? Like, never is a funny word. No, there's very few things that you can probably get away with saying that, but generally it's just not a good idea. You just watch immediately, you're going to have a problem. But 3,500 Bitcoin, I don't know, $216 million apparently worth of funds. I think what's funny is there is a large understanding amongst all the normies or regular people like us that bought into this crypto thing, and everybody said you got to hold it. That's what it's all about, and it's going to go up in value. It's going to go up in value. Meanwhile, all the people that actually did get in kind of early are selling and taking their winnings and leaving everybody else holding the pie. And right now, again, crypto is, again, it's not doing horrible, but it was, 7 months ago? It was over $100 million, right? Now, or whatever it was, over 100, was it 100 million? No. Whatever the hell. It was way higher than it is right now, right? I think 100,000 was over 100,000. Sorry. We'll get there, but yeah. So people are saying this. I think this is kind of some of the stuff that's happening. They had to do this to pay dividends, which I think is also happening. So the economy is going through a very weird thing right now. Economy looks like it's growing because of a lot of the AI bloat. That's not legitimate growth, though. In fact, a lot of this AI stuff is losing big bucks for everybody, including Musk, including everybody. They're sucking a lot of money into it to try to make this work. And ultimately we're going to win. I know that. And this is all about the artificial intelligence. Now, Trump, again, new $100 bill. One thing I want to say to you, be careful, bud, when you make counterfeit money, especially when it's legal tender size. You're going to get a knock on the door, man, so be careful. Also, this is supposed to be $250. If you're going to try to counterfeit it all the way, at least get all the data points proper. You nailed everything else. Why would you miss the one thing? Because it was too hard to get that seal, maybe? I don't know. Maybe that's where the actual counterfeiting happens. Yeah, anywho. This is still a Federal Reserve note. This is not anything else. This is the first time a sitting president signed on this, and Scott Bessent's signing on it as well. I do think that kind of shows who's in charge. We now have, was it Wersch, or whatever his name is? The dude that's in the Fed now, right? So we got him in there. Now we've got Trump and Bessent signing the bills, the $100 bill specifically. And this is what a lot of people are saying, and I don't disagree with this necessarily, because the serial numbers that are now going to be put out with this new signature, there's possibly something unique about these bills, but most likely the serial numbers are not going to match, and at some point, these will be the ones that you'll want to own. So what my recommendation would be, and I think this is what most smart people would do right now, if by chance, it's just a stupid idea, but if you've got a couple $100 bills that you keep stashed just in case, right? And if you get one of these new $100 bills, my recommendation would be look at the other $100 bill, the 1 or 2 or whatever, or 10 or whatever you got, right? A couple hundreds put aside. Look at them. And if they're the old ones, spend those. Keep the new ones. The new ones likely will be our friends later. So I would just keep that in mind. I think they also screw with the counterfeiting by rounding the edges. Could be. I know dollars are always perfectly cornered. Anyway. So crypto is a little down, 63 for Bitcoin, so it's actually up today, but still, it was over 120 or something at one point. Got crazy. XRP is doing crap. It's up almost a penny. Woohoo. Don't sell that all yet. All said, guys, if you got a 401k or an IRA, you can get out tax-free, penalty-free. Let my good friends at Goldco help you through this process. They are the best. They got the best customer service. They've got a bunch of suppliers. And yes, it is physical, precious metals. This is pre-tax money. So if you touch it in any way, shape, or form, you're going to get penalized in tax. Doesn't matter if they've turned it into precious metals or you're just dealing with the money that's in the 401k or IRA. However you want to end up touching that, it's going to hurt you. I recommend only if you want to let it sit for a week or even up to, or not a week, but a year up to possibly 3 years. It's hard to say where exactly we're going to end up when it comes to things breaking down. It's probably sooner than later, but again, be prepared. And then once it starts to rebound and come up, and that's when we start getting the new currency. So a lot of things are going to happen. You want to be ahead of this. You want to protect your buying power. Go to drslikesgold.com, drslikesgold.com. Tax-free, penalty-free. Move that money over. Park it, protect it. With precious metals, get up to 10% free silver by going to drslikesgold.com, drslikesgold.com. And also, if you can call in and you do actually have a 401k or an IRA account, ask them about the 5 grams of free silver when you call within 20 minutes. You'll like the deal that happens. Again, protect yourself. It's physical precious metals. It's kept in a safe and a vault. It's got to be kept away from you. Otherwise, you kind of get hosed. But DRSlikesgold.com, DRSlikesgold.com. Get out of that system. And by the way, that physical metal, they can send physical metals to you. They're your physical metals. That's exactly what they are. It's just they're stored away from you. But you can get them down the road or transfer them to something else. Again, it's a great way to protect your buying power, protect your wealth. You've spent a lot of time getting it all put together. All right, here, Doug Burgum. Sorry, this is the guy. I was calling him Polte, but this is Burgum. Dana, this chick sucks, but getting past that and watching her fail to pin him and watching the places where we get to stand right now and say, this is a good thing, actually, right? Like, it's kind of funny watching them try to spin a good thing into a bad thing and do it poorly. I think this is worth the time. Please enjoy.
About the reflecting pool, because we spoke about a month ago, and the $16 million no-bid contract to renovate the reflecting pool was something you called fantastic, and you certainly defended the expediting contract in order to try to get it fixed in time for July 4th. Now, of course, chunks of paint are peeling off the floor. The algae has returned. What went wrong?
Well, the algae is all gone. I mean, that was a momentary thing as it was being refilled. There was algae in the pipes, but the new technology, the nanobubblers that have been installed, if you go down there today and look at it, it is completely clean and clear. And so for the first time, there's actual a solution that involves making sure that we've got an algae-free pond. It keeps being reported that this was paint. It was not paint. This was an industrial liner that was put into the pool for the very first time. Multiple layers, fixing 2.5 miles of expansion.
But it peeled off. Why? Why did that happen? Do you know?
It didn't peel off. There was vandalism. There was box cutters. There have been 7 arrests. There was people literally trying to destroy part of a monument. The reflecting pool is not just a pool on the mall. It is part of the Lincoln Memorial. And if anybody says that they're going to go and vandalize that, it's no different than if someone was throwing paint
on Lincoln.
And you're
100% sure that what happened with the liner was vandalism. You can prove it.
Oh yeah, absolutely can. And as we drain it, we've got all the photographs we can see. I mean, there's no possible way.
You have photographs of a person or people cutting a 300 or 350 foot gash in the bottom of the reflecting pool?
Dana, I'm not sure why you and others in the media think that you want to keep trying to question whether or not this is an industrial liner. Every farmer and rancher in America that's had their pickup liner lined by this sprayed on liner knows that you literally it would never just like peel off or fall off. This is like a strong material.
Yeah.
And it's the size of 8 football fields. And the only way you can end up with actual slices in one spot and not the other is that someone physically cut it. And so but the pool itself, it's not leaking. It was leaking 45,000 gallons a day. It's finally been fixed by President Trump. And the American flag blue is working perfectly. And again, it's beyond me why. I mean, the real scandal is about the fact that the state of our capital was in such total disrepair that some people, no one was reporting about. No one was reporting about the pro-Hamas graffiti on the.
Mr. Secretary, you and I talked about this last month.
Yeah, and we're still talking about it.
Well, because it was July 4th and the reflecting pool was closed.
It was closed because it's surrounded by fireworks. It's closed every year on the 4th of July.
But it was closed prior to that in order to fix the reflecting pool.
But it was closed because the largest fireworks display in the country we talked about was set up, and it lines either side of the reflecting pool. You can't have people around fireworks when they're being set up. Now that the fireworks will come down, the fence will come down. The fence was there because of the fireworks.
Copy that. I just want to ask you about one other potential issue here. In May, the president's armored motorcade of SUVs, which can weigh up to 20,000 pounds, drove across that new coating of the reflecting pool's floor. Could that have damaged it?
No, I was with him when we came that night. He didn't take the beast. We were driving in a Cadillac Escalade. It is one of the presidential fleet of cars, but substantially lighter than what you're talking about. And at the time that we were there, they were still putting down the whole base level of this industrial rubber layer was not yet completed, and so there was no damage that night whatsoever. That was one of the questions we asked before we even brought the presidential motorcade there, but not a chance.
How much is it going to cost to fix? And are you going to use the same company that you did in the no bid contract, or will you open it up to new bids?
We'll use the same company because they did a fantastic job. I mean, even with this damage of the gash that we're talking about, you're talking about, again, this is the size of 8 football fields. It is 8 acres, and we're talking about like 0.001%. Thankfully, the vandalism was small. It was bad. I mean, it could be cost tens of thousands of dollars to repair. So then it could fall into a felony thing, just like damaging any other government property could. But it is this is the job that was done to fix the reflecting pool was done extremely well. And hopefully we can move on to this and just talk about, how we can continue to do things like take care of this was a deferred maintenance problem. We have deferred maintenance problems across our parks. President Trump is ready to sign the Great American Outdoors Act, which would bring the dollars to help fix all of our parks, not just ones like the National Mall, which is free, but help bring that across the country.
Can I just ask you about the vandalism? There is an Olympian, David Hearn, who was indicted for vandalism. The maximum sentence is 10 years in prison. He says he didn't do anything other than reach into the reflecting pool and pull out and look at a piece of the liner that had already been cut. Do you really think he should face a 10-year prison sentence for doing this? This is somebody who competed for America and, did extremely well there and is saying he didn't do anything wrong?
You can be a former governor, you can be a former this, you can be a former that, but just because you were a former something doesn't exclude you from the law today.
Yeah, that's fair. But he says he didn't do anything to actually hurt it other than pick it up because it was already peeling.
Well, he can say what he wants to say. I wasn't there. I was not an eyewitness. I mean, the courts will decide. But I think the law stands. That is a law that exists, and it should be, again, if people are, damaging federal government property, if people are defaming our monuments, they should face the consequences of that. So the courts will decide.
Secretary Burgum, happy 250. Thank you so much for everything, and appreciate you coming in.
And I appreciate
very little sleep.
I would love to come on sometime and actually talk about the great things going on in America as opposed to this myopic focus on a single one. We restored 48 monuments, 22 fountains, eliminated 1,000 graffiti sites. The Capitol's looking better than ever, and I can't understand why people want to keep talking about beautiful reflecting pool.
I take your point, and I think the answer is because the president sets the tone and he talks about it nonstop, because he was so proud of it, which is why we're following up on what you did to try to fix it.
And he should be proud of it because no one has fixed up our Capitol more than President Trump has during the time he's been here. He's shown the pride that he has in America. He's shown that as a country we can stand and think about our future. This is the kickoff of our 250th year. President Trump, in those 3 speeches that I saw him give the last few days, he was incredible respect for the past, gratitude for the president and all the people that have great, including our military, our law enforcement, and then he gave us in all 3 speeches in the last 4 days inspiration for the future. That's something that we should focus on because the vast majority of Americans, care deeply about this country. They care about their communities. They care about their families. And that is absolutely something we celebrate. We are the freest, strongest country in the world. We should be celebrating that versus focusing myopically on the few bad actors that may want to spoil the party.
Yeah. I agree. This is a wonderful country, and part of the country is to ask questions of people like you in power. So thank you for coming on and participating.
A wonderful country. This is a wonderful country, she says. Is it? It's wonderful. Huh. This is the greatest country ever. The hell are you smoking, sweetheart? Hillary Clinton, she's actually breaking with Democratic critics by backing Trump's Gaza plan as the only game in town. Now, we've talked about this as well. I think, certainly have heard one other individual talk about how it seems like the Clintons probably have had to turn. And they might have made a deal. Now, again, I know there's a lot of people out there. Hillary's dead. She's been killed. There's 15 Hillarys running around. Maybe. Okay. I'm not going to argue with any of you guys. Same people that insistent. Maybe. Otherwise. But Hillary is right, wrong, and different. The Hillary that's walking around pretending to be Hillary, make it easy for everybody, is making deals, it seems. And the Bill Clinton walking around pretending to be Bill, he seems like Bill Clinton, doesn't he? Doesn't he? He just looks like he's sick as hell. He's getting old. He's going to die soon, probably. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, God bless your soul and all that stuff, you know. But, yeah, you don't look good. Probably, yeah, who knows? Maybe the adrenochrome. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know what's going on. God, it just reminded me saying that, and I feel bad. Man, YouTube got pissed. One of my videos, the one I played of the light show in Texas, dude, whoever owned that one was bitchy about anybody having that up. And it's funny, the second channel never got busted, but the primary channel did. I didn't get in trouble. They just took it down, the whole video. They wouldn't even let me edit it. They literally took down the entire hour and 20 or hour and 15 minute long video because of a 3-minute segment. That's one of the things that cracks me up. The YouTube thing's going to be very interesting. Again, I love the fact that they're letting me do videos over there, and I waited for them to decide it was okay before I put it up, so it's not my fault. But a lot of people that are very heavily focused on their YouTube audience are going to have a tough time once we get up close to elections. Very tough time. Please know that the people you follow, if that's a primary part of where you're getting them, or you can tell that that's their biggest audience they feed from, careful. That's all I can say. If they're still there, that's another thing to consider. That's not good either. Over 1,000 more hours of J6 body cam footage has been released. We'll see what comes out. I haven't looked at it yet. I'm probably not going to be the guy to watch 1,000 hours of this, but Anons will find it. We'll get it to you when we find it. Charlie Kirk's assassination case is heading to its key hearing. It started today, Monday the 6th. And, yeah, we're going to see what happens here. This is interesting to me because this is like, just for all the conspiracy that's around this, all of it. I revel in it too. It's wonderful. Every bit of it. And I'm sure all the conspiracy people, once this thing's said and done, are going to have to handle this in their own way, because confirmation bias, you can't change your mind once you've made it up, right? That's one of the problems that we have today, is that people have made up their minds 20 years ago, and today's reality does not work with that mind makeup. And so we've got a lot of people that are kind of fracturing. Oh, well, it's happening. It's fun. It's actually kind of fun to watch, I frankly think. This is what I'm here for. So some of the people that are the hardest are the ones that are breaking the worst. Like, they just fracture. It's like the martial arts thing, right? The willow that bends, right, doesn't break. But the stiffness in the windstorm, you break. So, again, sometimes you've got to be bendy. No. It is what it is. Yeah, so this guy's starting his thing. They're apparently bringing him in a armored vehicle, which is interesting. Why I think it's uniquely interesting is, one, they are afraid that either side would try to do something, most likely, right? Certainly people that are pro Charlie Kirk, but then obviously deep state not wanting this guy to talk. If he is a patsy, shouldn't he theoretically be able to talk his way around this? Now, there's two ways to go on that, by the way, and we've been given a lot of information. I should talk about this on Tuesday, but I guess I'm doing it now. You're getting a version of what Tuesday is all about, or Tuesday and Thursday. MK Ultra has also been presented to us lately too, hasn't it? Yes, Charlie Kirk's murder was done by an individual. They do that through compartmentalized programming. That's never going to come out. Maybe it will. I don't know. Now that it's public knowledge, who knows? That'd be interesting. This is going to be public. But likely this individual, the current inhabitant consciously of this, whatever his name is, Tyler? Is this Tyler? I think his name is. His conscious residing being, there's many personalities, a better way to put it probably, is not aware of what happened, is not aware of what he did, is not aware of it. Literally unaware. So this to him is weird. They couldn't get the crazy, it's like he doesn't have to go because he's crazy. That didn't go over. And what this all comes down to is this dude was MK Ultra'd. Call him a patsy, okay, but he still did it, I think, to a degree. If not, took a shot and still, whatever. Now, whether or not someone was up on the water tower, or was that? No, sorry, that was Trump. I'm confusing the two. Yeah, I think there was just the one individual, wasn't there, that we know of? Now, question on whether or not the rifle was firing the type of projectile it was. I think there's a lot of factors that come into play. Everyone says if you shoot an actual .6 round, it would have blown him up. It's true, but it depends. Some suggested early on anyways, until things took over, as far as the story was concerned, that his vest might have gotten hit from the side and a fracture occurred and sort of that kind of went through his body versus necessarily literally getting hit in the neck with the round itself. So there's, I think, question. Obviously, he didn't get hit in the neck with a 30-06 round, because if he did, his head probably would have popped. That didn't happen. So based off that, I would assume there's a lot of people, I keep hearing people say it too, if he would have gotten hit in the neck, head would have popped. Well, obviously he didn't get hit in the neck then, did he? Doesn't mean he didn't get hit. Just means he didn't get hit in the neck. Everyone acknowledges he was wearing a vest. And that vest likely wouldn't have stopped a 06 round, would it? Any of you gun people out there? No, probably not. Now, again, this is strange. All right, affordability, fun. I love the deep state cracks me up. So the Office of Monetary Budget Management, I forget what OMB stands for, but it's a Government Accountability Office. I don't know why they don't. That's the GAO. That's a different thing, but OMB, apparently part of it. Oh, you like OMB? That said, poorly. U.S. They estimated April 2024 that federal government loses between $233 billion to $521 billion annually to fraud. We need to raise taxes. Affordability problems going on right now. Don't look behind the curtain. $500 billion in fraud, and they want to raise taxes. $500 billion in fraud. That's nationally. That's nationally. Think about every state and how much fraud there is, and they want to raise taxes. Education costs are snagging more than half of North Carolina's entire budget. $34.4 billion state budget, more than half of that is going to education. How's your education going there? Not so good, is it? Test scores are lower than they've ever been, probably. Schools cost more, everything costs more, but yeah, they're getting more money. I don't want to just yell at the unions right now, but already among the highest in the nation, California gas prices went up again because every year they hike on July 1st. It must be our fiscal year starts. So they raise gas taxes. This is supposed to pay for roads, for firefighters, and I don't know, a bunch of stuff. But then everybody driving electric cars, they don't pay that anymore. So now they're talking, they want to put in a mileage tax. Now, personally, if I have a gas-powered car, I'm already paying that tax. So to charge me a mileage tax too, that's a double tax. Now, if you want to tax electric car owners' mileage, I mean, I think it's effed up, but most of those people are the ones that would cry the loudest, so I would say, yeah, go for it. I think that'll be funny to see what happens. See if they, well, just, because it's all so much fun to pay taxes. That's what they always say. It's your civic duty. Like when you got to go to freaking court. Blue states, higher electricity costs, and the net zero policies are not helping. We all know that. A whole bunch of studies have come out. Way more expensive in blue states. Certainly some red states made some poor choices too, so don't remove them all because a lot of them do have some governorship that is pretty nasty and stupid. Comer, he's threatening to strip watchdog councils of their authority, or a council of their authority, over IG misconduct probes. This is kind of interesting. Telling the federal agency tasked with investigating misconduct allegations against senior inspector generals that it has concerns about whether the agency is following its own rules. These people are supposed to investigate senior inspectors generals in other states. They've literally barely inspected anybody. They've done nobody in the time frame that they're supposed to do. In fact, 4 to 10 times as long as legally required. So he's talking about either A, you got to start immediately doing this better, or B, we're stripping you of your job. So this is the CIGIE. I don't know if they call it like SIGI or something stupid like that, but whatever. They failed to follow their own policies. I said all the main stuff. Mamdani's officials are scrambling right now to try to ease concerns about the public supermarkets woes. Because here's the thing. 1, they're extraordinarily expensive. 2, they're planning on putting these in all 5 boroughs, 1 in each. And they're trying to claim that this isn't going to affect other businesses in the area that sell products that we sell. And that's an absolute lie, especially if they're using tax money. It's kind of like what China does. They help pay for things so they're cheaper than they would normally be. And that's a way to, 1, just destroy markets. And that's one of the things that China's frequently done, is use their national might. Like in the electric car industry right now, they're about to destroy any car industry in Canada. They're trying to flood it into here, but it's not going to be allowed. I don't think they're going to allow them to be registered in this country. So you can try to sell one and buy one. You'd be like one of those people, I'll buy one, fuck them. What are you going to do? And they'll be like, all right, try to register it. Watch what happens. And then drive that thing on the street without registration. Watch what happens. Guarantee your poor punk ass is going to be pulled over before you even realize it. Be a pulled over punk bastard. I'll say yes. So they are trying to make it sound like, hey, no, that's not what's going on. We're not going to mess with you guys. Don't worry. We're here for the common person. He includes you. But then what they did is they sent out a letter or some sort of questionnaire to all the people that were business owners, or the bodegas, I guess they call them. So you got to have fancy names for shit in New York because you're fucking weird. Whatever. 13,000 bodega owners got questionnaires asking them, hey, what products do you have that actually sell the best? And what are the profit margins of those products? Funny thing is almost none of the bodega owners answered that questionnaire, because that's fucking ridiculous. You're asking me to give up trade secrets to my competition? That's like telling Amazon, hey, here's the thing. If you could make it cheaper than me, you'd kill me. And what do you think Amazon's going to do tomorrow? Well, what are you going to do today? So people are pissed in New York already. Mamdani's been there 60 days or whatever. I don't know how long he's been there. Not very long. He's already pissing everybody off. Well, anybody that's middle income now, so this whole billionaires bullshit is fully coming home to roost, because that's crap. GOP lawmaker wants 11-hand Omar records after the fraud arrest. There was the fraud with the Leering Center, essentially, but some of the other stuff that's happened. They want to see Ilhan Omar's discussions with the different NGOs and whatnot in her home state, and how she keeps trying to bring certain products and projects into the bills, and what she's been funding, and how much fraud, waste, and abuse has been in those, and how much her husband's company has been involved. These are some of the fun questions that they're bound to ask. It should be lots of fun. Newport Beach reveals staggering number busted in the 4th of July. They did some pretty crazy stuff. They actually looted a Pavilions store, which is basically Safeway, Vons, Pavilions. They got some other names probably too. I don't remember what they are. All that, and we got some video of it. A little bit crazy. Check this out. Hopefully YouTube lets me play it.
Close the freaking window! Handle that!
Except, in this case, 400 people got arrested so far. More will get arrested, and here's one of the things. Newport Beach is in Orange County. Orange County doesn't tolerate this kind of stuff, anything like LA County. We bust people. We bust them hard. This is, if you actually did violence and they've got you on camera and you were here for spring break, you're probably not going home just yet. You might miss a flight, even if you cry. This is... A lot of kids think they can get away with stuff because they're kids. And we've even got slightly harsher juvenile laws. Nothing ridiculous. It's still California, but you're underage. You're not guaranteed any sort of pass by any stretch of the imagination. This was put out. Steve Hilton is accusing Javier Becerra of using illegals to campaign for him at taxpayer expenses. Hilton says this Shurla group pays illegals to canvass, phone bank, and campaign for Becerra. This is a clear violation of election law. Why isn't the media reporting on this? Trying. But thank you, Steve. I appreciate you putting some energy on that because I didn't know it was there. Trump administration rolls back dozens of gun regulations. Dozens. I think this is the, what NRA? No. What is, the hell's the National Firearms, Explosives, whatever they called, whatever that group is. I'd probably roll back a bunch of those stupid laws. I don't know why it doesn't seem like it's jumping out. Yeah, we'll see which ones they are. Why am I drawing a blank? The National Fire... It's not NRA. I keep trying to... Damn it. Tobacco Firearm. That one. Damn it. Whatever the hell. I know somebody's going to friggin' email me. Shit. Major companies throttle employee AI access as costs exceed budgets. Technology, banking, entertainment companies are restricting access. It just reminded me when I worked for iHeart, and we had dev accounts where we could open up our own environments and do all sorts of crazy stuff. And many things happened. One, people would open up lots of them because they were doing all sorts of crazy tests, and you could do individual environment tests. It was kind of fun. Two, people would open them up, forget about them, forget the password, and just leave them there, and we'd continue to get charged. People would open them up and end up not, leaving the company and couldn't get back into them where they thought they could because they didn't have the credentials properly aligned outside of the company. So there's a lot of fun things that our company was wasting huge. Like our bill went up a bunch, and it wasn't AI specifically. It was more the cloud stuff, AWS computing specifically, because we were doing all sorts of crazy stuff, and they've got all sorts of cool tech stacks over there. And anyway, not something I deal with too much anymore. Crimes against humanity, the CIA's sickest secret may finally be exposed. I just thought that the headline was funny because the CIA's sickest secret may finally be exposed. This is so not even close to the sickest thing. MK Ultra, please. The fact they're still doing it is super sick and sicker even nonetheless, and how good they are at it is sicker. And they've done way worse than this. Oh, Jesus. Way worse. Not even in the ballpark of disgusting. Please. Gavin Newsom finally cracks down on Epstein loophole. After years of scumbags dodging prison time, he's a little dodgy. What this is, and it's kind of weird. So he's pissing off billionaires now. I don't know what's up, but it feels like Gavin Newsom's playing ball because I think with his wife's investigation going on with her, I think that was a big one for him to be like, oh shit. And they're like, yeah, we can fucking take this the whole way there, Gabby. We're going to call you Gabby from here on out, but we could take this the entire way there, big guy. You are so crazy. They would probably just laying down photographs on the table, right? Just laying down, not like 2 or 3. I mean, like, you sitting there with a stack of them, you just laying down, and you're like to the 15th one, right? 15, right? And you've been sort of laying them down 3 at a time at layers, and then you start pasting back over the first ones you did, and just keep laying them down. That's probably the kind of shit that happened with Gabby. Little Gabby boy was probably like, oh, fuck. And he was just sitting back just going, oh. And they're going after his wife. And they're just like, yeah, we're going to find some stuff. You know that. That's not even a question, but it's going to go public. So we're going to start there. So he's got the billionaire taxes on. That's going to get done. So that sucks. So he's screwed there. And now he's apparently trying to do something where he's taking the ability for people that are criminally, they're in court fighting crimes of pedophilia type stuff, and they're claiming they have a mental disorder. And odds are that mental disorder allows you to be a minor attracted person and as an acceptable mental disorder. So because of that, you don't go to jail for the crime. You get to get meds or whatever at Club Med. So now that's taken away from them, I guess, and now I guess they get to go to jail and probably get punished in their own way. I want to remind you guys of OTF Special. That is OTFSpecial.com. First off, let me see if I can just fix my life. Feel great is what we call it. So it's OTFSpecial.com. I wanted to pull up, I have a new one of somebody that's given testimonials. I got a lot of the testimonial stuff, and it's fan-freaking-tastic. But this one here is new. This is Amanda, and this is pretty cool. Check out Amanda.
When it's almost 12:30, just mixed my second Unimate, got my kitchen cleaned, 2 loads of laundry done, swept the floors. Now we're at the park with the almost 4-year-old, and then gonna go grocery shopping to get the stuff I need to make supper tonight. And I know I'm gonna keep going because I just mixed my second one. I still have my balance. It's gonna be a great day with lots of energy. I love this stuff.
She ends up telling us her age in a secondary follow-up video, and it's not important what her age is, frankly. But she looks wonderful, nonetheless, no matter how you slice and dice it. I also wanted to say, if you swept the floor, are you ready to sweep the leg? Yeah, Karate Kid people. Anyone out there? This stuff's changing people's lives. Problem is, we have insulin resistance. It's a lot of the weird foods we eat. You're not changing your diet. You're not doing anything fancy. Literally, all you're doing is adding powder to water. It sounds like it's too easy. It's not. You'd be amazed. You'll start to see changes, and these things inspire the change, and that's really where I think the victory comes from. But obviously the Unimate, the Feel Great, is incredible. The one I like is the lemon flavor. It's like tea. The Unimate is a yerba mate. It's like a cactus kind of thing. So it's like a tea already. It just tastes like tea. And then they add lemon to it. It's delicious. I love it. I love it. I guzzle it because for me, it's just like I walk downstairs, I make the thing, and I pound it, and then I clean out my thing and put it upside down for when I get my second one. And I love it. It gives me energy. I don't crave food. It does things with my digestion, so there's some science kind of at work, and it helps there. But again, the cravings is what a lot of people think. The feeling good, the lack of depression and weird stuff like that. Like, it literally does is you start to feel different. And then you eat the same dinner, but right before you do the balance, you drink that, and it's a fibrous mixture. It's got some science in it as well. And your food kind of drops into that. It helps fill you up a little bit, so you might actually find you eat a little bit less, maybe a lot less, but you eat less just because you feel full. Not because you did anything different, but you actually feel full. You're like, I feel full. Maybe I'll just stop eating. And you will start to see your numbers change. People that are diabetic, pre-diabetic, post-diabetic, every form of it, they've seen their numbers change just by doing this. And it just, the way it adjusts out, your numbers are changing. You're not necessarily needing as much of the meds as you were maybe. Or people that are on different, with the fat meds and stuff like that, they're not having to take them. And in fact, sometimes doctors are being like, well, I don't know what you're doing, but we're going to go ahead and reduce your meds. You don't need all this stuff. Your numbers are better. Like triglycerides and all that stuff, right? They've got a lot of us taking these statins, and these statins are maybe have some side effects that aren't better than having a little bit of fat in your diet. They keep changing the levels that are allowed too. There's a lot of weird things that keep happening. This product's making a huge difference in people's lives, and it will yours too. OTFSpecial.com. OTFSpecial.com. They've got incredible products, by the way, on top of that, but this is the Cadillac product, if you will. I also love their The protein powder is incredible. They've got eye vitamins. They got a bunch of great products, but they make it hard to link, unfortunately. But the OTFSpecial.com, you will love. It will change your life, and you will seriously see the difference. It's fantastic. All right, a little bit of cray going on, and I don't have a lot of time to cover it, so yeah, this will be tomorrow, assuming everything goes according to plan. But Russia hit some major targets in Kiev. They blew up some major stuff. There was an explosion that they're saying is a weapons factory, and they said secondaries were happening for a long time after. Like, they had internal fires that were blowing shit up for a while. So this was bad. This was big time bad. So the speculation, 5 of the targets that they took out. The Obris PT, also known as Kiev 71, it produces various short-range drones for the Ukrainian military as well as drone components. The Borevnesnik, also known as Kiev 1, a Soviet-era plant specializing in radio equipment, which Moscow says produces medium and long-range drones with the radio stuff so they could send the signals. Ukr Armo Tech, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, also known as Kiev 79, easier, an armored vehicle manufacturer that also supplies missile warheads, according to the report. And Kuznia na Rybalskom is a shipyard on the Rybalsky Peninsula, founded in the late 19th century as a metal casting plant. This site has been associated with former Ukrainian President Poroshenko and produces the naval kamikaze drones. So that one's interesting. Those are the ones that just kind of seem like they're just being left stranded, floating out in certain seas. Not cool. There's probably dozens of these things literally just floating around with explosives on them that if tink into something might, right? Not good. But the other last one is what they're calling the Kavant, which they say means quantum. It's a Soviet-era military research and production facility that Russia says makes missiles and aircraft guidance components, including the Neptune MD missile, as well as other hardware. I thought the quantum word was just a fun little thing. We'll probably dig into that a little more tomorrow. Russia accused of dumping anthrax-infected cattle carcasses in Ukraine. They're calling it biological terrorism. So, of course, Russia's being accused of dumping biological containments in Ukraine, the place where we had biological laboratories. This is what this is. This is them dumping these anthrax-infected cattle to try to blame Russia. They'll do a poor job of it, but this is the United States Ukrainian biolabs that the deep state was running. And then they push some of this stuff either back here to refine it slightly further and then to Wuhan to release it. All of this stuff is coming out. Israeli ambassador to the U.S., I can't say his name, says Lebanon is going to have to get a hold of itself and make the choice that is coming down to the side of accommodationism. Those who have threatened the notion of Israel's existence and that Lebanon can be used as a conduit to fulfill Iran's dreams of annihilating Israel cannot succeed. But this idea of a country that thinks they can take over other countries and say that we have a problem with you because of another country that's not even the country that you're taking over and bombing, none of this is going to work well. This is obviously the separation of Israel from everybody. This is going to be an important part. We are already heading to that. By the way, drslikesgold.com. Guys, this is not going to be good for the markets. Protect yourself. It'll be bad for all sorts of things. A couple more stories here, of course. Trump actually posted this. Shows a picture of whatever her name is. The chick from Italy. Right? I feel like I'm saying his wife's name too close to it, and that's not cool. But restraining order needed. Right? Little long eyes. And I don't know. Some said he doctored this image. It's probably a real image, frankly, but maybe he doctored it. It does look like something stupid she'd do. Now, this is interesting. This is the UK. I don't think I have a lot of Brits in my audience, but man, you guys seriously have a really fucked up situation going on in your country. Really fucked up. If you can't criticize like other religions, but you can criticize Christianity or any number of other things freely, You don't have a fair system. You've got all these people that are coming in, and literally, they've got another case that's out. I'm just trying not to bring it up because it's just, I don't care, really. Britain, you guys got your own problems. I'm trying to work on our shit. Hopefully you guys will get there. I do have a few Brits in the audience that I talk to on a basis, you know. But we have another situation where a dude that was white was being attacked by immigrants, and the cops immediately show up, and they arrest the white guy. They assume he's guilty. They finally got in trouble because of how much Twitter publicized it, and they had video of it, and so the cops there's no way they can lie about it, which is what they've typically done in the past. So you guys are maybe finally starting to get a handle on it. Obviously, your government's going to come hard, but here is an interesting example of it.
When kids are getting raped and murdered, in my own country it's happening as well. Hey, you stood there smiling. Mohammed and Muslims are nothing but evil ideologies. It is evil. Then what are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? I have the right to stop it. That's not racial. Stop resisting. Stop it. Yes, Mohammed.
We're all right here, man. Don't worry about us.
What are you doing? Why are you being so aggressive? What, you just slammed me into a fucking door?
Right, so you get the point. It's ridiculous. And he was speaking British. We like that. Russia and Ukraine trade some of the biggest strikes of the war on the eve of the NATO summit, which is happening in Turkey. There's a lot of concerns around this thing. Israel's freaking out too. I saw an article. I don't know if it's true. I doubt it's probably alleged sources, but Israel probably doesn't want Turkey to have the F-35. I don't doubt that. I'm not sure if they have Russian equipment though too. I thought they kind of did maybe, but I don't know well enough. But that's one of the concerns we have about letting other countries that use the F-35 to also be using Russian equipment, because they can sort of utilize the software and maybe learn stuff about our equipment that isn't going to help us, right? So there's always a question about that. We will see again. And finally, a ballistic missile has been launched by China. Many are, I don't know, this is proving a lot of things for them, so good on them. They've got their giant-ass, super-fat ballistic missile submarine. This thing's enormous. It's probably not real quiet. I mean, reasonably so maybe, but I'm sure compared to our stuff, I'm sorry, it's probably not that good. And it probably wouldn't be able to really withstand long undersea stuff. I just have a funny feeling their knowledge is not anywhere near where it should be. It's hard to learn that stuff. It's just something that you learn over time. It's wisdom more than knowledge. And they have lots of knowledge. They're good at back engineering, but their wisdom is still gaining. And again, incredibly intelligent society. But so they launched their crazy JL-2 ballistic missile. Mostly what they believed they were testing was they have these I guess I don't have pictures of them. They have anti-satellites, or not anti, but they have satellite ships that are a lot of their weird monitoring of stuff that's in orbit. It seems like they use ships to do that or watch those things. That seems very strange. Like, we've got systems set up all over the planet, like Australia. We've probably got certainly stuff in Alaska. We've got stuff probably all over the place. I don't know. I'm sure we got stuff here in our country too, but we've got stuff all over the place. We're monitoring in a lot of places. They don't seem to have the same infrastructure abilities. Certainly a lot of the world, like Russia, for example, don't fully trust them, so they're not allowed to just put their shit in other people's countries because nobody trusts them. So anyway, they were testing, it seems, their abilities to view stuff in space probably more than anything. And maybe, I don't know, some of this probably ties to that craft they recently launched. My guess is they were using this missile as a cover so they could actually look at where the missile was, so they could try to pay attention to what it was doing and maybe even guide it, because they needed a little more fine-tuning. So they had 2 ships out that were watching this thing. That would give you stereo, by the way. Having 2 ships at 2 locations, it would give you the ability to pinpoint better. So likely has a lot to do with that. Might have had a 3rd ship too, because if they could have kind of run a triangle, they would have had even a better chance of pinpointing that thing to a level of precision that they wanted. I don't know. Lots going on. World's changing quickly, and I'm happy to be a part of it. We need to be on top of it. They're going to be feeding a lot of interesting information. A lot of people are going to be pushing stuff that's very fear-based. Unfortunately, good things are happening. There's no way around it. I mean, it's fortunate, really, but there's a lot of people that want to believe the worst, and the worst is not the path we're on. It's just not. So be careful who you ingest. Be careful what you put into your mind. That is the best I can say. The seeds you plant are what will grow, and especially the more emotion you give it. Emotion's water, if you will, so that's nourishment for it. So if you're scared of something, it's definitely not God. It's definitely not God. God's not scary. I love you guys. Where we go one, we go all. It's On the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle.